YouTube Nation, Man Vent TV, aka Me TV, aka the Eagles season is over, and to tell you the truth, Eagles fans, I'm pretty happy about it. That's right, because y'all have to notice by now. Look, for the rest of you Eagles fans, take your fucking shit off, put it in the fucking closet, because a lot of you guys, I've been reading comments, and I'm not just saying just towards me, but on Twitter and everything, and you Eagles fans are like, I can't believe that this is happening. I can't believe that these players are acting this way. Really? Did you not see the writing on the wall? Have I not predicted this shit is happening? Did I not say this for the last 2 years? Previous, I should say, 2 years that this shit was coming. Did I not say that? For those who don't know what I'm talking about, wide receiver 10, y'all know what the deal is with him, but I'll explain, all right? Wide receiver 10 did not show up. That's right, did not show up for his team meeting earlier that week before the game and was benched. And people were like, you should let him play. Why, it's okay for him to miss a team meeting. It's only a team meeting. No, understand, if you break the rules, you get benched. It's that simple, all right? There are consequences. He is not above those rules. And Fox is like, if anyone watched the game yesterday, Fox is like, Andy Reid, he had, such a tough time to whether he should bench him or not. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If he lets him play, then he's shown that he's above the law, pretty much. All right, understand that he's at superstar status, and it doesn't matter how he acts or what he does, it doesn't matter. And we've seen this way too many times with this guy. And you guys have been saying, you know what, Event? You gave my props. You said, Event, hey, we were kind of skeptical of what you were saying at first, and some of us didn't want to believe what you were saying about him, but now we see it. And for those who don't understand this drama, this is a saga at this point. It's going to get worse. Because for those who don't know, after that piss-poor performance of a game yesterday, let me tell you this, all right? The media has jumped all over him. They want him gone. That's right. CSN came out. They was like, we want you gone. You need to be kicked off the team, all right? And I'm not trying to hear his excuse was legit, because his only excuse was, I overslept my clock. I didn't hear the alarm go off. So let me get this straight. Are we back in high school? We back in elementary school that you overslept the clock? Is that what we on now? All right, I have to explain this because I put the link in the info part for you guys, all right? And I know it's from Yahoo. You know how much I hate Yahoo. But if you read some of those comments, some people are like, hey, you get paid $600,000, and I will talk about that in a minute. All right, $600,000. You can pay me to call you and wake you up. Other guys are saying, hey, look, I got a job. I only get paid $30,000 a year, and yet I can still be on time for work. All the time. There's no excuse. Fans, I told you before, fans and athletes, when it comes to money and it comes to these type of problems, they will never see eye to eye. All right? You have to understand that. Now, I want to talk about this money issue because for those who don't know on ESPN today, he talked about wide receiver 10 is now bitching that he wants his money. He wants his money. He feels that he's deserving his money. No, you haven't. What have you done all season? Look, let me tell you something. Like, you understand this. And I'm saying this as a man. So, Eagles fans, cut the shit out. I don't want to hear it. All right? When you sign a contract, it doesn't matter if it's sports or work or whatever, cell phones, whatever. When you have a contract, you have to honor that contract. There's no holding out. No, you signed that contract. You knew what you were getting yourself into. And on that last year, you have to pretty much perform if you want that money. Don't sit here and act like you're so scorned or you're the victim. Understand, now, obviously you're not smart enough, I should say, because you should have seen this coming from the years before that. We all saw it with Sheldon Brown, Lito Shepherd, T.O., and it's funny because I want to bring this up. When Deshaun, wide receiver 10, that's almost slipped, see that, I didn't say his whole name, wide receiver 10, when he was benched, can anybody remember the last time a player was benched on the Eagles for misconduct? Not for bad play, but for misconduct. Anybody? Terrell Owens. That's right. He was the last person. I told you before, he wants to be T.O. And you see where T.O. is at now. But I got more about that because, like I said, they benched Terrell Owens. And what was he doing? Sit-ups in his fucking parking lot, right? And he had more people, ironically, visiting him and watching him in his parking lot do sit-ups than he had not too long ago at his live tryout. So it goes to show you. Who was the player before T.O. that was benched for misconduct? Anybody? Anybody? You should know your Eagles history. Freddie Mitchell, the people's champ. Remember him? Yeah. What he doing now? On a reality show. Oh, wait. T.O.'s on a reality show. It seems like this is what these dudes do. That's what they do, and they both out work in the NFL, all right? Understand that this is the road that wide receiver 10 is going. You have to understand that. I told you before, we do not have time for these type of diva acts, all right? There is no excuse for him to miss that. Now, Jason Avant comes out with his piss poor excuses yesterday in his little stupid ass weak ass beast mode shirt on. Let me tell you something. You weren't beasting anything yesterday, all right? You ain't doing shit. But you have to understand, he made all his excuses. First, he said that the lack of wide receiver 10 wouldn't have mattered. Then he says it does because certain players are called for him and it throws the chemistry of the team off. No, understand, as players, as men, as people, I should say, who get paid to do a job, you have to perform regardless. That's what you get paid to do. If a doctor didn't perform like he's supposed to, you realize how many lawsuits would be coming, or he would get fired? If anyone else around in their life, school teachers or whatever, they didn't perform up to the standard they're supposed to, they would be fired. They would lose their job. And like I said, comments on yahoo.com once again about wide receiver 10. They said, you know what? For a person who's sitting here bitching that he's getting paid $600,000, you know, he could be out of work like a lot of Americans. It goes to show you the priorities that happens. It really does. But the game, let's talk about the game, all right? Let's talk about the game. I just wanted to get that out of the way because, and I am saying, wide receiver 10 not being there had nothing to do with us losing. That's the only way I'm going to back him, all right? Because a lot of people are saying all of a sudden, oh, with him, that was the problem. No, it's not the problem, all right? Because he hasn't done shit all year. So I'm not trying, well, I'm sorry, what do you do? Drop a 5-yard pass close to the end zone the other time he was in? I'm not trying to hear it, all right? Anyways, let's talk about the game. Defense, piss poor. Juan Castillo cannot call a play in his life. We saw the same predictable defense as usual when they got in the end zone, panic blitzing, and they gave it up. How the hell do you leave Larry Fitzgerald, all right, on one-on-one with a safety? How do you do that? How do you blow that coverage? How do you call that? That is ridiculous, all right? But guess what? Juan Castillo is not going anywhere. That's right. Coach Reed said today he's not going anywhere and that he will still be play calling because for those who didn't see the post game last night, the media were saying maybe they need to roll it over to someone else to have the play calling, all right, and let him sit on the sidelines, you know, and do whatever. And they said they could do it secretly so that fans wouldn't know. But Reed is saying no, Castillo will not lose his job. That's what he's saying. And now Reed came out and said also, you know, the whole standard, you know, we were out-coached and we need to play better. You know, we heard all the same things. But he says that this team needs more time to gel. Really. You need more time to gel. You're 3-6 and you need more time. Remember a couple weeks ago when I said Juan Castillo said it was going to take up to, what, week 8 to get this right? Now all of a sudden they need more time. Well, there's no more time. The season is over. At this point, as far as I'm concerned, you fire Coach Reed, you fire his staff, all right? You get someone to start fresh now. So by the time of next year, we'll be ready to go on all cylinders. That's what you need to do, all right? I'm telling you, some of these athletes, they need to go. Avant, get rid of his ass. I'm not trying to hear, oh, he catches that. I'm not trying to hear it, all right? After bagging on the fans like that, nobody cares about him, all right? Michael Vick is hurt. He's hurt. He's broken a couple ribs. That's right. For those who don't know, it reported he's broken a couple ribs. I don't think he's going to be able to play, against the Giants next week. Get ready for Vince Young. And you know what? I'm sure people are going to laugh at Vince Young, especially when he came out, Dream Team. No one will hear that now. All right? Last time he was in the game, you came in for one play and you threw a duck for an interception. Nobody has any type of, I'll put it like this, Vince Young wins football games, all right? But in this type of case, no. Vince Young just hand the ball off to McCoy. And it's funny, I want to talk about McCoy. Because for those who see it in the fourth quarter, what happened? He was running all game. Then in the fourth quarter, it went dry. The well went dry. They stopped giving him the ball. That's what happened, all right? We got Kurt Coleman making open field tackles and flexing, and it makes no sense to me. What are you flexing for? What are you celebrating for? The one time he celebrated, and guess what? It was a penalty on us, and he's over there celebrating. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, this is the problem. This team has way too many personalities. I've said it time and time again. Every damn week I say it, all right? Too many personalities. They're not playing as a team, and all of a sudden, they said, now the media says, well, they're not playing as a team. You know, we should have saw this coming. Seriously, why are these guys on TV? I don't get it, all right? You're always late to the game. How do you not see this? Like I said, Eagles fans understood this, all right? And then you have these new guys, like I said, they just couldn't see the writing on the wall, or they believed in their team so much, they didn't want to believe it. And if that's the case, that's fine. Like I said, I understand you're going to back your team. I back the franchise, but the franchise is really messing up. And I want to talk about this for a little bit because when Cromartie got hurt, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I'm going to tell you guys now, all right? This is personal training 101, all right? Rogers Cromartie, he gets hurt, ankle sprain, right? So what do? Anybody? Did anyone see what happened when he left the field? He's walking off the field. If he has a bad sprain, all right, he's walking off the field with no shoe on, and they're letting him walk into the back. Now, guys, I have to say this is a big no-no. If somebody, and I'll put it like this, if you've ever messed up your ankle or high ankle sprain or twist or strain or whatever, you always follow the Rice method. If you don't know what Rice is, I'll explain it. R for Rice is rest. I is ice. C, which is the biggest part of the Rice method, is compress. You keep it compressed. That's what you do. And then E for Rice is elevate. So understand, letting him walk off on his own will, he should have been carted off actually, all right? And his shoe and his everything, he was taped up, should have been left on. What they did was make it worse for him by taking off his equipment and letting him walk into the back barefoot. It actually puts more pressure on him. And now, for those who don't know, he has a severe, it's worse now. All right, because he put that pressure on it. So, and they had x-rays. He's done for a while. He'll be out, I think. If he plays next week, I'll be pretty shocked. All right? Unless it really wasn't that bad. But the fact is, you do not let an injured player like that go off the field on his own, walking with no shoe on or whatever. No, you keep, and wrapped up, no. You have to keep it compressed. That's the entire point. Understand that, guys. The Eagles trainers were so stupid. When I saw that, I was like, how do these guys get paid and let this guy walk off the field like that? This is why you have so many guys that are hurt or probably don't take care of their bodies or they're always strained or hurt because the proper training is not there to either stretch them out, build the muscle correctly. I mean, seriously, King Dunlap has a concussion now. Like, all these guys are all of a sudden hurt. Everyone gets drop happy. They get butterfingers. Riley Cooper can't catch a damn thing. Steve Smith can't catch a damn thing. It makes no sense. Vic throws 4 interceptions. That's right, 4 for staring down his receivers, and he had 2 called back, which was kind of odd because I understand the penalty on the holding one, but if you saw what the throw was, it wasn't even nowhere near the guy, all right? It wasn't. It was picked off by actually the same guy twice. And in the second interception in the second half, that guy had that interception, all right? He held it the entire time, even when he's rolling on the ground. He didn't drop it until he tried to get up and slipped. That's when he dropped it. So he had the full possession. Remember, 3 seconds. 3 seconds. He caught it, rolled on the ground, he was fine, tried to get up, dropped, and they said it was no interception. That's an interception. But Vic still managed to throw 2 more after that. I mean, 2 more, during the game. So, like I said, 4 interceptions of the day, if you ask me. Because they weren't just, tips or block bats or blocks. I mean, maybe that lineman, the one, it looked like he threw it right to him. But for that guy to be 6'8" and jump that high, and Vic's what, 5'10", I can understand. All right, so, yeah. All right, but other than that, throwing the ball, he's staring down his receivers, and he's not doing anything. We got beat by a second-string quarterback yesterday. Do you people not understand what's going on with the Eagles? All right? Do you not? And I understand that people are calling for Castillo's head, and it should have been called a long time ago. He should have been gone. All right? But Eagles fans, did you hear all the boos last night? Did you hear the boos? You want to know why? Because people are waking up in Philadelphia. I said this last week, and it's gotten worse this week. Another fourth-quarter blown lead. Understand that this is only going to get worse before it gets better. Next week, we have the Giants. Do you really think we can go into New York and dominate? Do you really think? I don't think so. And I only say that due to the fact that people are injured, that the play calling, we're predictable. The play calling has been predictable since the playoffs of last year. All right? But for a couple games before that, when we played the Giants, all of a sudden we played the Cowboys in Minnesota, they had us figured out. And I broke down the plays piece by piece last season, did I not? And yet nothing has changed. And the Giants fans, you guys came in, on Twitter, we're talking, you said, why in the shotgun so much? Because the offensive line can't protect for Dick. That's why. That's why. So you have to put him in the shotgun. If Vic is anywhere in play action or anything, guess what? He's in trouble. And he's going to hold the ball a little bit longer. All right? He's got to run. But as you see, when he runs, he gets hurt. Guys, it's a train wreck. This season is done. The only way it can be salvaged is to get rid of a lot of players now, get some trades, get some picks, and get rid of that coaching staff. Bring in someone. I don't care if you got to go get Gruden or you got to go get, who's that guy? With the Steelers, who used to be the Steelers with the mustache. What's his name? Looks like Wade Boggs. I forgot his name. Damn it, it's right there and I forgot. But he does what? Commentary for CBS, I believe. There's enough people out there, all right? Bill Cowher, that's his name, Bill Cowher, all right? But like I said, there's enough people out there that can coach this team and run it well. I'm not trying to, and I see a lot of fans, Eagles fans need to stop complaining. This is their first losing season. Andy Reid's a good coach. He's always had a winning season. And if you look at any other team, we've never had that. Just because you're okay with mediocrity doesn't mean we are. We're talking Super Bowl. We're not talking winning season. We're talking Super Bowl. There's a difference. You can have a winning season and then get eliminated in the first round of playoffs. That's nothing. All right? We're talking Super Bowl, and we haven't had one. That's what we wanted. Coach Reid sat here and said, we're going to get it, we're going to get it, we're going to get it, and all these. And for those who don't know, Asante Samuel came out and said that the front office is pretty much all these players that we picked up, they're trying to play fantasy football instead of playing real football. Like I said, Asante Samuel went off on the front office. All right? So understand this is not working. It's not. It needs to be cleaned up. Coach Reid doesn't give a damn. He has no control of that locker room. All right, because there's no reason why these players should be acting this way. We've never seen this before. Like I said, I've never seen this before. And since what? I've been watching the Eagles football since the 80s. No way ever have I seen this. This is ridiculous. And I understand some of you new fans, you're like, okay, whatever. Yeah, because you don't know. You don't know. I swear, if Reggie White was still alive, the son these motherfuckers, I swear, this would be a whole different story, all right? Don't tell me that it's okay to act a fool when we're losing, or act a fool and dance and flex and carry on when we're causing penalties, when we're doing things. You have to be kidding me. And that penalty on Trent Cole was bullshit. That was not a penalty. He was going for the ball. His hand came down, hit the quarterback's cage while he was trying to swat the ball. Quarterback didn't even fall. He just stumbled a little, and that's roughing the passer. Get out of my face, man. Get out of my face. Eagles football's over. I'll still be covering it, but you should know. I called the season, like 2 weeks ago. I knew this was going to happen. And you Eagles fans, I swear, you get so mad at me for some reason. I don't understand, all right? Who else has been this consistent with his predictions in the previous, since I've been here on YouTube? Who else? Who else? Yet you have other fans out there who wants to talk all this, I'm super Eagle fan and carrying on, or get mad and throw shit. Look, I'm not going to get mad and throw shit. I'll tell you how it is. And they're so surprised, and that's why they get mad. They get so mad and throw shit because they can't believe how bad they're playing. No, I predicted this. The writing is on the wall. I'm not surprised. But but I don't want to come out and keep saying, hey, I told you so. Guys, man, 16 minutes. I still got shit to talk about, man. Damn, fucking Eagles. Anyways, let's move on. Boxing. That's right, boxing. For those who saw, Pacquiao versus Marquez. First off, Marquez got screwed. Yes, he got robbed. All right? And see, a lot of people saying, well, if people think that he got robbed, he didn't. It was a close match. He really wasn't screwed. No, he was. Because they said, he could have been more aggressive down the stretch. No. Understand something, all right? This fight was simply a rob. And I'll talk about this because for those who remember boxing back in the day, De La Hoya versus Trinidad. That's right. Oscar De La Hoya versus Tito. What happened? Oscar outboxed the shit out of Tito. He beat him in every facet when it came to boxing. But Tito kept coming forward. Oscar, later in the rounds, backed off. He said, hey, I got enough points. That's it. That's all I have to do. And what happened? They gave the win to Trinidad even though he didn't deserve it. And people saying, well, Oscar was being a punk. No, understand. The sport is boxing, not go out there and knock someone's fucking head off. That's not what it's about. You want people to knock someone's head off, you go watch Ultimate Fighting. That's what you do. And I want to talk about that in a minute. So like I said, yes, Marquez was robbed. And even though Pacquiao, because those saw it, Marquez had his hands up in victory after the fight. And Pacquiao's in his corner with his head down like, damn, I fucked up. He got beat. He knew he got beat. But they are setting this up because the only people that went out of this, all right, even though Pacquiao won, the only people who went out of this is the Mayweather camp. Because Mayweather, he's looking at this and like, really? This is what he came with? He was like, if he can't even beat Marquez, he's not even going to touch me. Understand that Pacquiao is a great fighter. He is. I'm not going to take that away from that man. But what happened over the weekend was the screw job. That was politics. Especially when Pacquiao works for HBO. That's right. He works for Nike, Hewlett-Packard. Yeah, and he's in political ties with his country. Understand that I'm telling you, they're not going to let him lose. They're setting this up for Floyd Pacquiao. That's what this is. He lost that fight. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. All right? I'm not trying to hear it. Now, on the Ultimate Fighting, Cain Velasquez and Junior Dos Santos, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. I want to talk about this because of the fact that this fight lasted. First off, the pre-fight package was a 30-minute package, right? All right. The fight was like 64 seconds. The fight was like 64 seconds. And fans, and the link is in the info bar for you guys, fans actually had a problem with it. The fight was too short, this microwave fight bullshit, and Dana White came out and told them, shut up. Now, one side of me says, first off, you can't tell your fans that. You can't act that way. All right, Dana White, you just can't. But another side says, well, you know what? Why was it okay for boxing back in the day, but not UFC? You are coming to see someone get knocked the fuck out. That's what you want, right? You always say, and UFC fans always say, boxing is too slow, it's too much pacing, we want to see fighting now. Well, you got your fighting now, and it ended quick, and now you're mad that it ended quick. I don't understand this. I don't. It happens. And I said this before. There's times where guys will get on camera and say, I've got 7 years of martial arts, blah, 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 then get out there and get knocked the fuck out quick. It happens. It happens. All right, but you can't complain about it. But Dana White is also wrong for addressing it the way he did. He could have addressed it in a more professional manner. Because, like I said, back in the day, Tyson, you knew what you were getting with Mike Tyson. You knew you were paying for a microwave fight. You knew Tyson was going to knock someone the fuck out in the first round. All right, you knew it. That's how boxing. That was smarter boxing because they knew how to promote that. All right, they knew that. But for some reason, all of a sudden, it's not okay for the UFC. It's okay for both sports, if you ask me. But you can't start complaining when something's too short. When then you accuse the other sport of being too long. They call boxing a gentleman's sport for a reason, all right? They really do. You got to feel your opponent out. But if anyone watches UFC, when guys take too long feeling their opponent out in the octagon, people start booing. They start booing. I don't understand this, all right? So they're doing it so they don't get caught and get knocked out in 64 seconds. That's the whole point. But whatever, all right? I just think it's very hypocritical of UFC fans to get mad at that fight. I'm just saying. Now I need to move on. Serious news. Penn State. All right, for those who did not see over the weekend, of course, Penn State had their, thing. Joe Pa was fired, and the fans are so sickening. The students, I'll say, are so. It's not all students. It's not all students. Penn State students, no. All right, but they're sickening. The ones. First off, they rioted. All right, they rioted because Joe Pa was, was fired. So let me get this straight. You'll riot over Joe Pa being fired, but you won't riot over the sick thing that happened to those kids. Is that how this works? You've got to be kidding me. But that's not all. For those who watch, dare I say, Fox News, all right, they interviewed a lady while things were going on during the game. During the game, I want to say this, during the game, what the fuck are you crying about? You got students on TV tell you, they video packed students crying because Joe Pa isn't there. You're going to be fucking kidding me. It is football, and guess what? This shit is beyond football. It's beyond football. Don't sit here and tell me you're going to cry over some man being fired. That's bullshit, all right? You act like he died. Get the fuck out of here. Anyways, they interviewed this 50-year-old lady, right? And she says, she compared it, yes. She compared the firing of Joe Pa and the way people were reacting to 9/11. She said this is about as bad as the day after 9/11. That's in quotes. This is about as bad as the day after 9/11. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Don't sit here and compare a firing to 9/11. You can't even do it right, dealing with the whole, the child molestation charges because you want to go off. This is bullshit, all right? And I don't want to take anything away from the Penn State football players, the current ones, because for those who don't know, like I said, all the links are in the info bar, all right? Except that, like I said, that was a news clip, all right? But for those who don't know, ex-Penn State players, link in the info bar, have come out and given Sandusky, that's right, the child molester, money. They're giving him money for his court case so that he can do everything. You gotta be kidding me. You're giving a child molester money. And they said, well, everyone deserves their fair time, fair chance in court. Wait a minute, all right? There's a difference between having a fair chance in court and having all this fucking evidence stacked up. He did it. It's that simple. Seriously, nobody. And let's say, the dude, was it McQuarrie, who saw it? Man, he's a fucking pussy. I've never seen so much fucking pussy in my life on TV. And I watch porn. You gotta be kidding me, man. There's no way you can see something and then go run and cry to your daddy. Oh, not what I saw. Get the fuck out of here, man. You better man the fuck up and call. You called your dad instead of calling the police. And then you wait to the day after to talk to, superiors, and they said, don't worry, we'll take care of it. They could have did more. Joe Pa could have did more. Don't tell me he couldn't. Oh, he did what he was supposed to do and talking and rolled it over to someone else. He could have picked up the phone too. I bet you he'd have did more if it was his grandchild doing it, right? If his grandchild was molested, he'd have did more, right? God, man. There's too many excuses going on over in Penn State. And on top of that, Steelers legend, Franco Harris. That's right, Franco Harris. I believe he played for the Steelers. It's been so long. For the Steelers, all right? I'm going to say it, all right? Franco Harris comes out and says he backs Joe Pa. He backs Joe Pa. Have you taken one too many hits to the fucking head? So he will always believe in him first before anyone else. That's bullshit. No man should ever have that type of power, over you. And I say that as in men, as in other men, and women, your husbands, they should never have that type of power. Nobody should have that type of influence where they are so godlike that you will believe in anything they say. You're setting yourself up to be an idiot. That's what you're doing. This is a joke. And the news is out there in front of Joe Pa's house. That's right, in front of his fucking house. And they're like, we can't wait to get a interview. When he comes out, we're going to try to talk to him. They already said that Joe Pa has a gag order pretty much because his lawyer, that's right, his lawyer told him not to say anything. So what the fuck are you in front of his house for? He's not coming out. He's not going to talk to you. He's not. It's stupid. It's a waste of time. It really is. And on top of this, Sandusky, check this out. For more evidence, they got him calling the one kid. He called the one kid 118 times. 118 times. This is a joke. This is a joke. You can't sit here and tell me that he did not do this. Don't sit here and try to sugarcoat it and say, well, a lot of people are being blamed. And some of you guys said that Joe Pa was just a scapegoat. He's sacrificial lamb because Penn State wanted him gone anyway. You're right. They did want him gone. But he fucked up. He fucked up. He did. So he deserves to be gone. It's really that simple, guys. Anybody, and I say this, anybody who had anything to do with this, not only should be fired, because they're trying to say McQuarrie is on paid administrative leave, right? They're trying to say that, it's okay. Anybody who has anything to do with this, who have tried to do anything with this cover-up or second-guess this, right? They should be fired. Not just fired. At the very least, they should be arrested. That's right. Because you're aiding and abetting. You can't do that. You can't do that. But apparently, Penn State has so much fucking power, it doesn't make any sense. Also, link in the info bar, not just McQuarrie, but a janitor saw Sandusky do this to a kid as well. But he didn't say anything due to the fact that he was afraid of losing his job. They put the squeeze on him. This is like the fucking mafia. You gotta be kidding me. There is no way you can say, I told you last week about the guy who's missing. This has gone beyond football. It's going to be, and for those who don't know, there's been a lot of, college recruits for football who have turned down Penn State now. They were going to go and then left because of what's going on. So there are some somewhat educated people, some morally correct people going on, but there's a lot of these students, and I say this, all right, because CSN, you sit on Twitter, regardless of what happened and who's right or wrong, you still get chills hearing the students say, we are Penn State. No, you don't. I don't know where the fuck you come from, but I sure as hell don't. Once they saw that and they started rioting, they lost all credibility. Unless they were just looking for a reason to riot. And I want to put it like this because I think Penn State also handled it, the wrong way. If they were going to say, make this announcement that Joe Powell's fired, why didn't you do it during the day where students were either too drunk, they were just hung over from the party last night, or they were in classes? Why would you wait till nighttime where the students really don't have that many classes so they can go out and fucking riot? You didn't think things through, did you? See, guys, this is going to get worse before it gets better. It's going to get bigger. This is not going away. Penn State was wrong. Bottom line. I'm sure by the time next week I do another sports video, I'll have more news on Penn State for you guys. But everything I'm talking about is linked in the info bar for you. The articles, if you just read what's going on, they're giving them money. They're holding stuff back. Why did it take so long for the investigation? We're hearing all of these things come out now. And it's sad that still the mainstream media has not talked about what I talked about last week. And they're not going to talk about what I just talked about this week. It's sad. All they're worried about is football. It's funny because ESPN has all of a sudden picked up Penn State games. Yeah, all of a sudden CSN is going to show post-game, interviews after, the Penn State games. Neither channel did this before. It's ratings whoring. That's all it is. It's whoring for ratings. That's all it is. This is the reason why the media makes me so fucking sick. And I don't respect any of them. Any of them at this point. There is no excuse. Like I said, these guys should be arrested. They should. Each and every one of them. I wouldn't be happy. If I was the victims, I would not be happy until all of them are arrested. Not saying something makes you part of that crime. And how you can live with yourself, that's beyond me. I don't understand that. Like I said, there's a difference when you see something going on and you say, hey, man, it is what it is. That's life. But we talking about 10-year-old kids here, man. 10-year-old kids, they didn't do anything to anybody. But this dude is just going to keep touching them. And now he's trying to say, his lawyer is trying to argue that, check this out, that it wasn't forced, that he asked them if they wanted to be touched or not. Now, last time I checked, the 10-year-old kid still is statutory rape. That's just what I see. Even if you don't want to give him molestation charges, you can still hit him with statutory rape because the child still is not of age to make his own decision. But it doesn't matter. Anyways, guys, it's nice out. I'm going to go ball, as you can see. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe. I'm out.